So I have created a macro which is a for each loop delayed, because a for each loop just runs immediately, but you might sometimes want to offset each cycle of the for each loop. That's what this does. Let me demonstrate that. Let's hook up our original for each loop. So let me just run our demo. So you'll see when these blocks roll over, all the colors in the column change at the same time, because the for each loop is affecting each of them. So every time it goes over a block, all the colors change. But I wanted to offset that so it looked like they were changing with the time offset vertically up the column. So if we come back to our trigger volume and I use our new delayed for each loop, I've got a delay of 0.2 seconds. And there they go, they're running up the whole column. So let's have a look at how I created this easy hack on the for each loop, or any of the loops in fact. I've used it here on the for each loop, where I've created my own macro called for each delayed, where I have got a float pin with an open field where I can designate a delay in between each cycle of the loop. Now this is very easy to create. What I did was I took the existing for each loop and then copied out all of that, basically. Leave the input and the output. The for each loop is a function, and you can't put a delay node in a function, hence copying it out and creating a macro. If we then come back to our for each delayed, I've then pasted that in and created the same inputs by just dragging up the pins into input. And you'll note that I've pulled the cable in from the delay node into the input, so that field appears when the macro is collapsed in the main event graph. My only intervention is adding this delay here. So after the increment loop counter, let's put it here, probably makes a little bit more sense. I've put a delay in before it goes back round into the branch here. So that is then giving us a time offset between each of the cycles of the loop being called. Now the reason I created it into a separate macro is because of the delay node, because you can't put a delay node into a function. And then with the output node, just copy the same as the for each loop, just create each of those outputs, and that's it. So I hope that video is of use. If so, please do like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to receive any updates. And thank you for your support.